It is 8:41 News Talk Saga 960 Raw. Mike Richards here on a Monday, a chilly Monday. Right now I'm still looking at like 1 degree. What are you kidding me? I'm just not ready for this. As I said, the other part of it being 1 degree means you're getting closer to probably playing hockey, and I'm not ready for the Leaf questions. I'm not ready for the Leaf discussion because it only will be resolved once we get to like April. It's October. I can't do it. I won't make it, which is maybe why I need some of these Bell Lifestyle products. Maybe I need that recovery tea, because I don't have the strength to go through a full season of the goaltending questions or the coaching questions or why doesn't can you help me? Do you have a pill for that, Doug? Has Bell Lifestyles come up with a Leaf Nation recovery pill?
Yeah, I really wish we did. Every season, right? You keep asking, do we got a pill for that? Do we have a pill for playoffs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll just take the playoff pills. That would be popular. Yeah, no kidding. Well, great to have you on the show today because, again, it is what I find to be so interesting, and this it almost 100% pertains to myself, and I think I fit a lot of categories of men, which is the even the word natural health products at some point has this weird connotation of I don't know, a shaman or a voodoo or some sort of witchcraft, which is so wrong. Like, it's so backwards. And I think in this day and age of what we see with big pharma and what it does, it's a real education process as much as anything else, and it certainly has been for me. But the other part of it, Doug, is the fact that this stuff, a lot of the stuff that you see when we do commercials, when we have stuff, it works. Like, the stuff actually works. There is a brilliance behind what goes into these products. And the last thing that I thought would be of significance is all the different teas that Bell has. And even so, a guy like Dave Bastel, who played a lot of sports, played at a high level of sports. One of his go-tos is the many teas that Bell has in its product line, including, and people say, well, I'm not really hot, because he's an iced tea guy. So his is always cold in the fridge. Bastel will always have one of the teas, depending on what it is, in the fridge, taking it when he wants. And that's what people understand. Yeah, we understand tea, just, a cup of tea and so on. But these teas are very specific. And I think we've got some delicious new teas. And that's the other thing too, is if you're having tea, boy, it better taste good. And I think Bell spends a lot of time on a lot of the products. And we just had the liquid multivitamin that not that long ago. And one of the things that I get, at least from my family, is it's really easy to take because it tastes good.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to a lot of products is the taste. You might ask, why don't I just take that in a pill form or something like that? But when you drink something like a tea, it does a couple things. One, you get that immediate effect because you're ingesting the liquid, and immediately whatever's in it, you're getting that going straight to wherever it needs to go. So that's one aspect. And the other is there's a ritual to drinking tea, just like we're probably all doing right now, right? You get up in the morning, you pour your coffee or your tea, and that's just part of your day. And so with products like this, you can get into a routine where you take these products. And in the case of most of our teas, which are condition-based teas, so they do something specific, it's just a great way of taking, the herbs and the ingredients that way as an alternate to just taking pills.
Now, there are some interesting names on some of these ones, and I'm really kind of interesting the recovery tea, the Ezee Recovery Tea. So what does it do? Why is it called recovery? Because I said, even the packaging on it, and the description of itself is pretty interesting. So I'm really curious about this tea.
Well, in the case of Ezee Recovery Tea, I'm a huge fan of this one. I was, pushing for this tea during development the whole time. And the big reason for that is it's an adaptogen tea. And adaptogens could be herbs, could be mushrooms. And these are things that you can typically take in sports. So a long time ago, some of the early Russian scientists were working with adaptogens on their Olympic teams. And what these plants and mushrooms do is they help your body deal with stress. Now that could be a mental stress or it could be a physical stress. And what it does is it helps your body just cope with that stress and keep everything in balance, homeostasis, so that you don't get these wild swings of damage to the muscles, etc. In a practical way, what they do is they help you recover mentally a little faster, so you're not as fatigued. And in the case of physically, you'll bounce back from whatever physical activity you were doing. You'll adapt to it much better, so you're not as sore. You know, your muscles will recover faster, and that's the whole idea around adaptogens. And so what we wanted to do is actually put that in a tea form. So if you had a hard day at the office or a hard day working out in the yard, whatever the case may be, that you could go to the Ezee Recovery Tea and take that, and it's going to help your body cope with that stress. So you're not as stressed out mentally and you're not as stressed out physically.
Now, would this also be a tea you could have? Let's say you got into a disagreement with a wife or girlfriend over a certain issue. Does this mean I could just reach for the tea and all of a sudden I feel a lot better, even if I indeed believed I won the argument? Would this indeed be a recovery tea?
This would be the tea. So I know we were talking about later whether, you know, I was debating with the other half whether it was legit that competitive dance was a sport. And I took the firm stand that it is not a sport. I'm not saying that people aren't athletic, and I'm not saying it's not a competition, but when, you know, two of the key factors are, you know, how you look and how you interpreted the dance, that's not the same as scoring a goal or, you know,
Yes.
hitting a home run. So
So
I'm just
just
saying
so
it's different. I
yes.
just don't consider it a sport. Now, after that argument, yeah, I was a little stressed out. And that's exactly the situation where you take an Ezee Recovery Tea and you feel much better about yourself.
See, there we go. We apply it to real life. So in application, we see how you can use it. This is what we do here. This is the magic that we make on this show with Bell Lifestyle Products. We're in conversation with Doug Carey, and as I said, you know, every other Monday we talk about some of these products, and some of them, you know, some of them are familiar with, like when we talk about Inflamex, and we talk about a lot of the like the immune booster products, which are really kind of important and of great value, certainly in today's society. But there's specific tea. So we talked about a recovery tea. There's also a breathing tea, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so we have lots of products which are great for helping, you know, boost your immune system and help you, you know, get through cold and flu season with minimal sort of impact. But there's going to be a time when you might catch something. And I think we've all been in that situation. You wake up in the morning, you can't breathe, you're all congested, you have an upper respiratory tract infection. So you need something to help you get over that. And so again, we went to a tea because it's soothing. It tastes really great, and you know, you can make yourself a cup, and it's got lots of really good ingredients in it, like echinacea, ginger, licorice, all things that help with your breathing and clearing all the mucus out of your airway. And so, you know, we have eucalyptus in there and thyme and bitter fennel. These are all traditional herbs that are used on upper respiratory tract infections to help clear that mucus out. And that really helps you breathe. And it's a really easy way to approach it because you're just drinking a tea, and that's going to feel soothing in itself when you feel like crap, right? So
yeah. Well, what I think is always so fascinating is that, like, these are two new delicious teas that are coming out. It's new in the product line of Bell Lifestyle Products, but the ingredients themselves are like what, thousands of years old. I mean, when you start thinking about what goes into these things, they're like ancient remedies, which again, in its day, I would have thought was, you know, some kind of hocus pocus weird stuff. But the reality is, I guess, because of its actual scientific breakdown of what these things do, here it is in a tea form. And if you try to get it, and I think Alicia Ravenna talked about this sometimes, if you try to get it from other things, if it's, you know, not a tea or a supplement pill, it would take you forever to try to get this all in one place at one time. This eliminates trying to figure out all this stuff and puts it into, sometimes it's a pill, sometimes it's a tea.
Right. And that's just it. You know, are you really going to go out into your yard and start looking for some ginger and some licorice and stuff and digging through the roots looking for eucalyptus? You know, that's not going to happen.
No. Yeah,
Um,
it's a so because you're a big part of getting products out there, coming up with ideas that will do products, but the process isn't overnight. Like if we're
no,
talking
no.
about this recovery tea, really from the moment that you wanted something like this, how long does it take in the actual process from the thought one to the actual delivery? Is it years?
Yeah, it can be years, literally. It's typically at least a year, if not longer. That's with us even knowing what we want in it and just working through what the formula is. We don't just throw it into a bunch of tea bags and hope for the best. We really have to go back and do our homework on how much will work, what mixes with what, and what's the right combination to get a synergistic effect with the ingredients and with the herbs in some of these products. And so it's a very long process, and it takes some time from the time of conception. In the case of Ezee Recovery Tea, this is one that I wanted from day one, but it took a long time to get out into the marketplace.
Now, when you say that, when you say this is something I wanted, what are you telling us? Like you're sitting there one day and you're like, here's what we don't have, or here's what I'd like to have. Like, how does that idea? Because I'm not sure how in that side of the world, how we even get these products sometimes. How did you come about this, and how do you know how to go after it? I guess is what I'm asking.
The founder of the company, Nick Church, when he first started the company way back when, he started it because he was looking for products that were going to help him. You know, he had problems with his joints, he had problems with a number of other ailments. And so he just went out and started looking for what sort of products can help him, you know, get over those issues. And that continues today. So in my case, I'm a huge fan of adaptogens. And I really personally wanted something like a recovery tea. And, you know, so when we're in our R&D meetings and we're talking about product ideas, we're really pitching those ideas that we want personally, or that we know people, you know, personally that need these types of products, or we've heard stories of people who need these types of products. And we look at the marketplace and say, hey, is there anything addressing that? No? Well, maybe that's something that we should make. And that's why Bell has such a sort of comprehensive list of products which are condition-based. So whether it's for arthritis, whether it's for immune, whether it's for recovery with adaptogens, these are all things that we can all relate to when we're talking about them during research and development time. And that really gives us the idea of what sort of products to build out.
It really, Doug, it's fascinating stuff. It is also because of the nature of Bell products, you know, guaranteed. I mean, there are a lot of things with these products that you probably should know, which is also the strict code of you know, getting a product on there. It has to be approved, and this is hardly one of these things you buy in the back of a magazine or off television. See this stuff. It's a very stringent process for Bell to get it from the Doug Carey thinks of something he would like to it actually being on the shelves. As I said, you know, to think it's over a year, but some of that process is actually the legality of it.
Well, you know, in Canada and in the US, these products are highly regulated. They're regulated by Health Canada. And so when we come up with a formula that we like, we submit it to Health Canada, they'll review it. And that review process may take 8 months alone, just for the review process.
Holy
or longer.
geez. Yeah.
So, but it gives you a peace of mind that you know that the safety of it, the efficacy of it, the quality of it is all being looked after by a third party. So it's not just some company making up whatever in their bathtub. No, it's very highly regulated. And I think the consumer appreciates that, knowing that they can take it, knowing that it's been reviewed, and knowing that it's been approved.
And that's part of the confidence that you have when you see the Bell logo. You understand just how difficult it is to get these things out there, and that's your consumer confidence right there. That you know you can rely on company, you know, policy, because that's what it is. I said most are money back guarantee. There's all kinds of stuff that goes along with this that has taken years, as I said, from Nick going all the way back to what we're talking about today. Now, these teas, are they available now? Are they for public? You can get these teas now?
Yeah, we just launched both teas. The Ezee Breathing Tea is available now. And sorry, the Ezee Recovery Tea is available now, and we're just waiting for the Ezee Breathing Tea. But they'll be available shortly. So you can go into any of your natural health stores. If you don't see it, ask. The people on the floor will be happy to help you and give you some direction. And if they don't have it, ask for it and they'll bring it in for you.
Fantastic stuff here today, as it always is. Fascinating things. And as the products come out, we're more than happy to talk about what exactly they do, because there are those listening here this morning that were like, you know what, I got a stressful drive. You know, I have a long day in Toronto. I'm stuck in traffic. I go by that stupid airport every day on a 401. And by the time I get there, I'm stressed already. I just want to come home. Well, this is also something you can look forward to. As I said, it's good tasting stuff as well. They work very hard on that, and it resolves a lot of problems. So once again, great stuff here today, Doug. Always appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Well, I have to know really quick before you go, is competitive dance a sport?
No, it is not a sport. I can tell you. And I look, as a sports journalist, that's right. I'm using the word journalist, and people go, okay, well, now the argument's gone. You just called yourself a journalist. Don't you talk like Pee Wee Herman sometimes? Yeah, sometimes I do. But I am with you, Doug. Just so you know, I am with you. Competitive dance, very athletic. I understand it, very competitive, not a sport. Just so we're clear. now I'm getting a phone call. I better get that tea very quickly. Take care, buddy, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike.
There's Doug Carey from Bell Lifestyle Products, talking about the two new teas. Once again, the Recovery Tea and the Breathing Tea. And look for them again. If you don't see them where you go, ask for them. They'll be more than happy to help you out.